How does it fare against Omega's venomous rattlesnake draft?
It's me, Naisu, and Ingon here on the English desk. And hey, fun fact, I just learned out where the Brungai is.
What?
It's in Marikina.
Yeah, you haven't been there?
I have not been there.
It's like a huge compound. They even have their own basketball court.
I know they have the basketball court, but I'll tell you what they have in this game here, Ingon. And to our viewers again, the Gatot Mamba is back after what we saw yesterday and how well this performed. I'm wondering if TLPH took some notes. Also, with their change, of course, this time bringing in Zyda. You know, taking a quick look at the emblems, too. Of course, you got 2 war cries over there for them, and they want to play with this scaling lineup, and it is going to hurt early on, especially with a Ling here. Speaking of Zyda, Ingon, I know you have some experience as well, you know, seeing him play in the MDL before, and you heard the stats during the panel segment. How do you think he's going to fare up against Andoryu here?
Andoryu, okay. Zyda, okay, technically he's a good player. Again, S2 of MDL Grand Finals MVP and regular season MVP. But Andoryu's been on a roll, especially with the Julian. We've seen it yesterday as they swept their last series, and of course, Gatot Kacha. But looking at the stats of Zyda last season, 8 games played, 100% winner. So basically, all the games he played, they've won.
Yeah. It's just like the only thing is like the panel mentioned, you know, Fredrin and Barretts aren't really in the meta anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you see like a Fredrin pop up once in a blue moon, but for the most part, it's not going to happen.
But still, though, in the MDL, though, he's been using Ling, Lancelot.
Like,
so
he can play the assassins.
Yeah, he can, for sure.
Obviously, I would say at this point, man, everybody that likes to play MLBB and jungles, they've got the assassins, you know, practiced. Yeah. And you can play around with that. So with this, nothing starting up until this turtle does spawn. So for now, they're going to go ahead. Omega starts this up. TLPH will go ahead and wait for Zyda to go ahead and get that purple buff. But at least for now, you just kind of sit here and wait until this engage comes through. But there's no level 4s yet on the roamers as well.
Okay, the difference between the 2 roamers is although they're both chunky, you wouldn't want to damage. No, he's using the Revitalize, so he doesn't have the Vengeance. So. Okay, as much as possible though, it's okay for Chaknu to get damage, but on the other hand, JP, if he soaks up the damage without being able to set up the implosion, that's gonna be a huge problem. So for JP, he has to be more safe compared to Chaknu, because Chaknu has the AOG. But look at this implosion play coming in from JP right away. First blood for Zyda as he casts the Tablets of Blades, but gets caught up there. Gonna get a kill. Andoryu brings him down as JP tries to run away, but here comes Chaknu. Here comes the Chimeric Force. Andoryu still on the double kill, finds the triple as well. What a start for the first game.
Oh man, earlier we said Andoryu's been doing phenomenal. Well, look at that, a triple to start. Talk about scaling. That's Sanford. I don't know if he's going to do anything.
Oh, flicker in from Ryota. Ryota army again making noise as Zyda tries to get the turtle and he steals it away. Gonna manage to escape here, but on the other hand, the 2 gold laners meeting in the middle. The clash will not continue here, but look at this. They find someone. It's going to be onto Chaknu. Is he still alive? No. Zyda's going to bring him down.
I stand corrected. Sanford bought enough time to let Zyda come in. Zyda somehow ends up getting the retribution off, takes the objective. So what ended up being a pretty bad situation for TLPH, they at least made it a little less bad.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, highly in favor of Omega in that last exchange, but that's the thing. At least they go ahead and get something, and now they can kind of take it from there because those early kills, that triple kill on Andoryu on a Julian of all things. Look at him. He's already got 2 items being built up here. First one, I'm not sure. Maybe the Feather of Heaven is what he goes. I don't know. Blood Wings. Okay. Blood Wings is what he goes with here. So locks in the Blood Wings this early on, under the 5-minute mark. And part of his job, honestly, is just to get, you know, this interaction between him and Lilia there. You have tons of magic damage available because then you wait later for Big Jome to just show up on the Moskov that we see so many times in and out. And I know that you pointed this out too, you know, the Revitalize on Chaknu. He did this also last night. Ends up working out pretty good in the fact that if he gets the Avatar of the Guardian set up on... Oh, hold on. Sanford?
Okay, Ryota pops the Primal Wrath. Zyda waits for an opportunity to strike. But again, look at this. Sanford picks up a Thunderbelt, and I actually like to point out what you mentioned about Ukir and Andoryu. Because again, even if Omega doesn't necessarily have a hard lockdown, apart from the Earth Shatter and onward from Ryota, the slows from Andoryu, from Lilia, and even Shaknu once he taunts the TLPH, that might be enough for Omega to burst down the members of TLPH.
That's the scary thing with the Julian is like once you get those enhanced chains off, you know, it provides a lot of obviously time in the air, but also damage. So this turtle for the taking, or TLPH wants to answer this. There's the conceal.
There's a conceal. But is he going to go for the back line? Look at that. Another burst right away onto Sanji as Zaida gets the turtle. Tempest of Blades is there. AOG as well. A lot of ultimates being casted. But the first man down as well as JP. Look at Sanford going in with a vengeance. Is he going to be able to escape? One more hit. But Ryota says it's on me to bring him down. That's 3 for 1 exchange. But still, Zaida gets the turtle.
That's going to keep happening, man. I don't know. Zaida, very impressive with getting the turtle, getting those objectives, but Omega likes to fight. We saw this last night as well with the similar lineup, and even if, for example, let's say Jome's not there, they'll still duke it out, and it seems like Smart Omega has found something that's really like, that they can really play around. Whether that's Chaknu on this Gatakacha pick might be part of the puzzle here, but really it's just them playing as a team, having that synergy. And I know we like to say, you know, Omega timers, but throw those out of the window, at least for week 4, because time and time again, Omega has been starting strong.
Actually, if you notice the graphics a while ago, the comparison, Omega has a fastest game compared to TLPH, and faster, longest game compared to TLPH. So in terms of the late game, I think TLPH is more familiar because they have more experience. But as Omega tries to burst down the turret here in the bottom lane, that's a first major objective for Omega.
All right, objectively, at least Omega gets 2 turrets now in their favor. You know, they gave up, they couldn't get the 2 turtles. Jones going to go ahead and save that turret from going down, so it does keep the turret up. But now at this point, you know, for Omega, with a lead they have, a 1,500 gold lead from this point, they want to go ahead and get this 3rd turtle once it comes up here. That set themselves up really well for once the Lord comes into play here. Golden Staff also being picked up here by Jome, and on the flip side, Zaida gets a little sustainability, picks up the Haas Claws, because he knows that part of that pressure coming in might just be the fact that he takes a couple hits, he's going to heal back up and then join the fight once JP or Sanford gets the sets they're looking for. So, Smart Omega starts up this 3rd turtle. I don't think they want to give this one up. Looks like it's going to be clearly theirs.
Okay, so the trade for TLPH is instead go for the orange buff of Andoryu. In terms of levels, it's actually Zaida ahead by 1 compared to Andoryu. And right now, if you're TLPH, you wouldn't want to initiate a clash, especially if JP's not around. So Zaida has to do double work here. Make sure to get the pickoffs that they need, and at the same time, go for the split push. Because they're going to be dealing with the Moskov later on into the late game.
That's the thing, though. We always see this, you know, where basically at some point, the Roger, you need to get that timing, right? The timing on the items that you need to lock in. Hold on, Conceal going to be used.
Oh, Ryota misclicks on that Earth Shatter. And now they're going to get onto Chaknu. JP, who's going to fall down first? Look at the sustain from Chaknu as he gets the AOG,
Zaida.
but Zaida onto the chase. Templars of Blades is there. Chaknu is still safe. No casualties for both of these teams. And wow, just wow. Chaknu, although he used the Revitalize, that, oh, look at that! Benny Cutie chases right after Chaknu wants to go for Andoryu. And I believe Benny Cutie watched yesterday's match of Omega, because this is what Chaknu did yesterday.
Yeah.
Against King Kong.
He escaped.
Yeah, he escaped.
He escaped so many times. And, you know, they weren't going to let it go the way this time. And I'm wondering what the call was there, because, of course, Zaida goes in, Temps Blades. It almost looked like he feigns it. Like, we are going to engage, but then he backs off. And then the call for Benny Cutie to come in comes through. And, you know, that could have just been a really good decision that TLPH takes it, where the momentum, again, all this was building up for Omega, where they were nearly 2,000 ahead. And leading into the first Lord, that's crucial for TLPH to kind of even things out. The only problem that I see with TLPH dealing with this lineup from Omega is the fact that in the Lord pit, and this is why it's so important for JP to get that implosion off.
Oh, final slash onto Chaknu plus a Sacred Hammer. Are they going to burst down the Mamba? Mamba goes down right away, but on the other hand, Jome working on the top lane.
He's pushing the tier 2. Yeah, he's going for it. I think he's just going to go ahead and, okay, he doesn't fully get it. So there's got to be a response coming up from Benny Cutie. Zaida, Lord is up. But I think that's the one thing, too.
Yeah.
I guess the weak point of the fact of Garakacha can just fly into the air and get out of there is the fact that
Yeah.
it's sometimes if you get locked down by multiple CCs, like the final slash like we saw there, or even JP, you're just sitting there clicking, clicking the ultimate. You're like, man, I can't jump. And that's the downside.
Yeah, but the downside for TLPH as well is they have to commit a lot of skills just to bring down Chakno. Again, a final slash plus Sacred Hammer. Although JP didn't use the implosion, it's gonna take a lot just to bring down Chakno. And you can't force or use all your resources because at the end of the day, but wait a minute, Earth Shatter combination for JP here. Spear of Destruction, I'm not sure if it hits, but the Demonic Force is there. Look at that, Chakno soaking up all the damage, but it's not going to be enough because Sanji's going to bring him down. Now Cutie onto the backline, Sanford soaking up the damage as well as Ryota gets the Lord, plus the kill onto Sanford. And that trade, I think that trade will go to Omega.
Yeah, Omega getting the Lord, getting a couple kills after a 2. Part of it is just Chaknu being so hyper-focused with this. Even with a triple final slash from Sanford, they had the win. They had the win in that team fight also because of the fact that we see Jome just freely firing off on the Moskov here.
Yeah.
So again, great team fighting there from Omega. They get themselves the objective to play around with.
It's a really good pickup
So
for
it's
Ryota.
TLPH, yeah. Ryota doing a fantastic job grabbing that Lord.
So far, so good. Ryota's been on a roll. Yesterday, rocking the Phobius twice. And this time, the Edith, as the Lord marches there in the top lane. TLPH still has good wave control, has good wave clear. They still have Benecuti, they still have Zanji. But again, if the setups coming in from Omega continues, it's going to be a hard game for TLPH.
Okay, here they are. TLPH has to deal with this Lord. Also some split pushing happening on the other side of the map from Zyda. They'll go ahead and delay it as long as they can. TLPH knows that they can clear this first Lord pretty well, but they're going to continue to lose some of these tier 2s here as they're worked on by Omega. Hold on to the mid lane. And it looks like they're getting the call here. They want a sandwich.
Oh, but Jome catches Zyda off guard. With the onward headshot, no AOG, Spear of Destruction will connect. Here comes Big J, pops the Purify. JP sucking up the damage, but here comes Benecuti. Oh no, he's going up against 3, the Lycan bounce, just to bring down Big J. Manages to escape, Andoryu chasing after Benecuti. He has the war cry though, so it's the Lycan bounce, but Andoryu still wins the exchange.
Oh man, I thought Benecuti would get away with it. But the moves from Andoryu don't fall short. Great usage there, especially with the enhanced sword at the end. But man, Omega still holding on. I mean, they finally got that tier 2 in the mid. They'll take some resources or try to. And TLPH feeling some pressure from Smart Omega.
I think we need to make a petition here. 2-star matches per week.
2-star matches.
This deserves to be a star match as well.
Hey, you know what? After how day 1 and day 2 went, I'll say today has been goated. Day 3 of week 4 so far. Hopefully we get 3 games in this one too, because it's already showing to be a promising series between these two battling it out. And that's the thing. Even with this kind of change-up for TLPH, the fact that Zyda's in, overall it seems like he has this game plan in mind for Zyda even. It's just the timing was off there.
Yeah.
He ends up getting picked off when it looks like they're going in for a sandwich play against Smart Omega, but then they get punished. That's what they have to kind of work on here with Zyda with that change in where timing is important, especially when you're playing this Ling here.
Yeah,
and now the Lord's up.
And I think Jome and the rest of Omega was really anticipating the sandwich play. That's why he was ready to cast that second skill. Luckily, it hit onto Zyda, plus the onward combination didn't give enough time for Zyda to cast that Tempest of Blade, but right now Omega is bursting down. This Lord, Sanford goes in, but Uker gets the Lord. AOG once again. JP picks up a kill, plus another onto Ryota. But look at Jome getting another. Gonna get Sanford here now. TLPH on a roll. It's just Uker and Jome left. But here comes the Spear of Destruction. Jome going right after 3. It's gonna get Benecuti. He does. Focuses on his attention onto JP. But the Nightmare Spore from Zanji is there. Look at Oak here bringing down the mid lane as well. It's just Jome left here. Wow.
It's the synergy with the haircuts, man. The hairstyles here between Jome and Ukir.
Oh, they still have the Lord up top. And now focusing their attention onto the middle lane turret. Look at the damage. Even Zyda has to walk away.
Okay, they still have a minion, but they get the base turret. They're happy with it. Man, I have to say it again. Jome and Ukir working together as two to turn that around. Talk about communication and the synergy between the two players.
Okay, now they still have the Lord up top. Ukir with the glooms, forcing Zaida to use the Templates of Blaze. Spear of Destruction will connect. Will Jome enter as the Lord bursts down the turret? Look at that AOG from Jacknu once again, connecting every single skills. Jome's still here, but Benecutie picks up a kill onto Chaknu as they burst down the Lord. Now 2 inhibitor turrets taken down by Omega.
Man, again, you know, Chaknu is doing the work, I gotta say, on this Ganaconcha, but unfortunately, once you land that and you're in the base, you're kind of exposed too, so you gotta have that follow-up. But unfortunately for them, Jome was kind of zoned out, JP was playing really front there, but ultimately, Smart Omega handles those 2 turrets, they get them down. TLPH only has that 1 base turret left in the bottom lane. So right now, Smart Omega playing on the momentum that they have. You can see that Wind of Nature's there as well for Jome, so he's got a little more defense, plus that Purify. And that's what's kind of helping him in a lot of this positioning, fighting, and everything else.
Yeah.
And concentrated energy locked into for Chaknu. So if he does jump in, he can sustain himself with the Revitalize as well. Chak Mamba with the assists. He's recorded 2,368 assists throughout his MPLPH career. He ranks 4th, next to Few, Oh My Venus, and Carl Teasy.
Wow, Chak Mamba, just like the real Mamba, I think 4th in scoring all time.
Yeah, he's a legend, man.
He's a legend, Hall of Legends inductee. I think the only one who has yet to win an MPL title. But right now, they really have a huge lead over TLPH, 2.1K. But again, the story is 1 inhibitor turret for TLPH left.
That's all they have left. And now that they're, you know, nearly 10 seconds away from this Lord here, I'm wondering if either of the jungles will get the, will actually secure the Lord, because so far it's been Ryota, and then it was Ukir. Ukir also picks up the Divine Glaive. So this time around, now that this Lord, this could be a game-winning Lord.
Oh, wait a minute.
Cut off?
They spot off where JP and Sanji is hiding, but Sanford is also here. 5-man rotation for Omega. As Zaida waits patiently in the mid-bush.
He's fine.
He's fine, so...
He's getting some vision.
Okay, so if we're going to play the Lord Dance fight, TLPH has an easier time because their inhibitor turret left is on the opposite side of the Lord. So they can manage the minion waves up top and in mid. But Omega, I think they have a plan to burst down this Lord, not let JP have a setup.
It's a great pickup item for Chaknu as well. Gets the winner's crown. So if the plan is to just find that perfect setup, Heroes landing, Avatar of the Guardian there, pops the winner's crown, has Revitalized. There's so much. Ukir hasn't died yet either. It's been really difficult for TLPH to deal with him. So right now, favorably, Smart Omega going to go ahead and start this Lord here. Less than half health right now.
Oh, but Ryota catches Sanford off guard there as Jome just dishes out the damage. Ryota has to pop the Primal Wrath onto JP, soaking up every single damage, but Benecutie pops back to Immortality! But Danny JP with the implosion play of a lifetime! 2 members will fall down in exchange for Sanford. Ryota working on Benecutie, pops his Immortality. Double kill coming in from Zaida. They want to do the cleanup crew here. It's just Ryota left!
Oh man, JP! It's all his fault! Ends up going in with the setup, the implosion of a lifetime, exactly when they need it. And now all of that results in them getting and securing this Lord. We're going to take a look at the Infinix instant replay, and it's right here, fighting in this corridor. JP sees his moment, takes a couple of shots, gets ready, and boom, finds 4. And even if Ukir gets out of there, that is enough time and setup for TLPH to turn that in their favor.
Wow. I mean, he was literally catching the damage of the Primal Wrath from Ryota. He was even stunned there. But since he had that flicker, he was able to cast a 4-man implosion play, activating his damage dealers to dish out the damage. And right after that, Zaida, a jungler, finally secured a Lord Naisu.
Oh, again, man. You know, that's why you can never count out these roam plays, these roamers that do it. Chaknu does it well, but this time JP does it. And now they have the push into the base here, working on the bottom turret.
Oh, Ukir He has to force the Black Shoes just to evade, but look at Sanji dealing out the DPS. Gets a kill onto Ukir. Tempest of Blades for Zaida here. And now JP catches someone. It's going to be onto 2. Who's going to fall down first? Ryota is low. He's going to fall down in hands of Benicute. Chakno AOG is not going to be enough. Has 2 members left to fend for themselves. 5 members of TLPH still here. They don't care. They want to go for the crystal. They're going to pick up a kill onto Joe, but Joe onto the back line. Wants to go right after Tower. But Sanji says, not my San duo. A 1v1 onto the jungle. Andoryu wins that clash. And Omega defends the push.
They do it again, time and time. Somehow, some way, Smart Omega has this defense plan, but then can they keep it together? The push still coming through from Sanji and Sanford here. It's only Andoryu for a little bit longer.
4 seconds before Ukir arrives, but Andoryu manages to pick one off. And now a Winter Crown play just to delay.
Whoa!
No more inhibitor turrets left, but Omega still standing.
Ukir, okay. You gotta slow the pace here, Ukir.
I need to drink water.
Good thing.
Wow.
Smart Omega, there's something about them where just when you think things are gonna end, the switch just turns on. They somehow defend. Great defense. I know our panel is gonna want to break that down later because great usage, even of the Spear of Destruction to go on the backside and fire off and get space from Jome. Perfect decisions there to defend. They buy themselves time still in this game. And we're 30 seconds away from the Lord. Some items being picked up here. Even the potions and immortalities at this point for these teams. 21.5 minutes into this game. TLPH saw the victory. But as much as they tried, they couldn't punch game 1 in.
Imagine prior to that clash, prior to the Lord take, TLPH only had 1 inhibitor standing left. And right now, they still have 1 inhibitor left. And Omega has none. It's just a crystal for the barangay. But it was a good decision for Omega to really separate the clash. Andoryu and Jome, a defense of a lifetime once again. And now starting things off with this Lord. Zaida's going to be in the picture soon, but Benicute making sure to push the mid lane, control the waves once again.
Okay, the downside is for Omega, all base turrets are down. TLPH holds on to 1. As small as an advantage that is, it's still an advantage. So all waves have to be managed here as well, and that's part of the problem that Smart Omega has to solve. TLPH also kind of spotting things out, getting the vision they need. JP still holding on to the immortality himself. He can play up front and a little risky here. So Omega, I would say even damage department, like they're all locked in. And Dora, you saw how much damage this Julian is doing.
Yeah.
Like he is there and he's able to compete, sometimes even 1v2, and that's something that TLPH has to keep an eye on. You can see why they don't want to commit to the Lord just yet here.
Look at the kill scoreboard. I think it's been a while since we've seen a 19 and 20 kill scoreboard as we approach the 23-minute mark. Even the 35-minute game of FCAP and TLPH didn't reach this score.
Yeah.
Wow, and right now, JP, he has to deal with the Purifies of Jome and Ukir plus the Black Shoes. So even if he has the Flicker, as long as they pop the Purify, they can easily turn things around.
There it is, less than half health right now. They're still going to slow it down.
Oh, look at Benicute onto Ukir! Pops his immortality. He still has the Black Shoes though, has to back away. And now it's going to be a retribution battle between the 2 junglers. Zaida secures the Lord. TLPH will disengage, and they won that trade.
They don't have to fight, and they know it, right? They already get that out. Ukir holds on a little bit longer, but now they have to defend, man. They have to defend once again. We're going to see if Smart Omega has this defense play in their pockets while avoiding JP, because JP is waiting for that set. He doesn't have Flicker, doesn't have it available, but Sanford does. And that's why they're playing up front as this Lord gets ready to walk in.
Implosion play from JP as they bring down Andoryu. AOG is there, but Benicute managing to free it. Every single member of Omega has to walk away, though, because the damage, he has to respect the damage of Omega. As Omega tries to work on this Lord. Chaknu very low here. Jome still unbothered. JP goes in with the Sacred Hammer. Immortality is going to be popped up, but Zaida onto the backline. Look at Benicute going around after the Crystal, and TLPH forces a Game 1 win!
And you can hear the crowd. Let's go Liquid. This Game 1 is secured, but man, I will say Omega did everything they could.